chance some other time, then we will go over them. This is basically, the exercise was basically book 1 stuff. So all it was is just doing, singular, dual, and plural stuff we've already done, changing the words, right? But we'll go over this, so I want to basically just want to do like a review, especially if someone, if it's been a while since we did a review. And then at the end, if we have time, we're going to do some verb conjugation practice, and then also we can look at lesson 10, if that's where we get to. So Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, alhamdulillah rabbil alameen, wa salatu wa salamu ala ashraf al-anbiya wal mursaleen, nabiyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Rabbana zidna ilman ajma'in wa 'allimna al-kitab, ameen. Okay, so we do only have, 25 minutes or 30 minutes. Alright, so we always start by saying what? That there's how many types of words in Arabic? There's 3 types of words. Okay, what are they?
Yes.
Ism and fi'l and harf. Right? Okay. So what's the ism in English called?
Noun.
The noun. Okay. And noun is basically just a person, place, thing, animal, object, whatever. Okay. And what's fi'l in English called? Verb. Okay, so this is like he does, or she does, or they do, or I do, or we do. Okay? And harf is?
Particle.
Right? So this is all the other stuff that makes up the speech, like who, what, in, how, there, not there, but like the parts of speech that are come between or before the verbs and the isms.
Anything that is not ism and
anything that's if it's not a noun and it's not a verb, then it's going to be an ism. Okay, but the ism category is broad. It's very, very big, right? So it's not just like things like house and key and person. It's also things like here and there. So those are called isms. So in English we would say those are they're not like nouns, but like if we said like hada or hunaka or something like that. Yeah, are they adverbs in English? I think so, right? But in Arabic they're just nouns. Okay?
Conjunction also, right?
Conjunction. Yeah. No, conjunctions are particles.
Conjunction particle? Oh, I thought they are noun.
Like what?
Wow, those.
Why is a harf, right? All right. So, but okay, that's not the point. The point is, how did we break down? What did we say about the nouns first? That there's how many cases to it? There's 3 cases. Basically, how the noun ends. What's at the end of the noun, right? Which is what? Yeah. So basically, what are the names for those? Marfu, mansub, and majrur. Okay. Marfu is usually when the noun has 2 dhammas or 1 dhamma. And what's the next one? Mansub, when it has what?
Double
fathahas. And the last one is? Majrur. Okay, when it has kasras. Alright? So they're called marfu', which is called the nominative case. Nominative. And then mansub is called the accusative, or also called the objective case. You don't have to know this, I'm just giving extra information. And the last one is called genitive case. Genitive case. Okay? What's important now is that, especially when we go into lesson 10, we're going to see that this rule that we learned, that marfu is dhamma and mansub is fatha and majrur is kasra, is not true for certain specific nouns. Okay? Specifically, like some plurals, mamnu min as-sarf. When we get to those nouns, then this rule will not apply. So this is basically a general rule. So when we have something like a word like Muslim, right? We say Muslimun if it's one Muslim. What if it's what if we want to make it definite? How do we make it definite? We put al, right? So we say al, we do the same thing. And then what changes also on the word Muslim? You drop one dhamma, right? So instead of al-Muslimun, you get al-Muslimun, because when it's something is definite, you only can have one, you cannot have tanween at the end, okay? Tanween and al cannot go together. So when it's definite, you only have one haraka. So what I was saying was, okay, so this applies, so Muslim is obviously a noun, right? It's not a verb or it's a participle, it's a noun. So when we want to make something also dual, how do we do that? You add the word alif noon, right? So if I want to make it, I say an, okay? So if I want to put it to Muslim, I'm going to get al-Musli, al-Musliman, okay? And if I want to make it plural, I'm going to get Muslimuna, right? I'm going to put a waw noon and I get Muslimuna. Okay. The reason that this is going to come up in lesson 11, 10 and 11, al-Muslimuna, is look at this word al-Muslimuna. What do you notice about the case ending? Like what's on the last letter?
Noon.
No, what's on it? It's a fatha, right? So if you are going by this rule, what would you say what case is it?
Mansub.
You would say it's mansub, but this is actually incorrect. Okay? So when you look at the word al-Muslimuna, you're actually looking at something which is marfu'. Okay? It's marfu', and the waw and the noon is it tells you that this is plural. When it goes into mansub or to majroor, it's not going to change the fatha, dhamma or kasra. It's actually going to change the waw. Okay? This waw is going to become a ya. So I'm going to get al-Muslimina. Okay? You notice how the noon ending doesn't change. We said that, when you have Muslimun, if I want to make it mansub, I put Musliman, right? If I have al-Muslimu, I want to make it majroor, al-Muslimi, right? That's the basic rule. But now when we get into plural nouns and mamnu min as-sarf, right? You're not going to just have you're not just going to be looking at the last letter and does it have a fatha, kasra or dhamma. You're going to be looking at, is it plural or not? Is the rules for the mansub and majroor different or not? Okay? So this is the general rule for sound, masculine plurals. Okay? That when something is like Muslimuna, Kafiruna, Sajiduna, things like that, when it ends with an una and it's sound male plural, when it goes into mansub and majroor, it becomes Muslimina. Basically the waw is going to change to a ya. Okay, we haven't gotten to this part. This is new basically right now. But I'm showing this to you because it's going to come up. And it's also basically a review of the things. Okay?
So what did you write in that English? Sound of the?
Sound masculine plural. Sound basically means like default or just like the general case, right? Default. So for this would be marfu', this would be mansub, and for majroor I'm going to write the exact same thing. Al-Muslimina. Okay? So what's the problem here? I have al-Muslimuna marfu', I have al-Muslimina mansub, and I have al-Muslimina majroor. So what's the obvious problem?
Majrur and Mansub both has fatha.
They're both exactly the same, right? So how do you know when the Muslimina is mansub and when it's majroor? How do you think?
Context.
Context, exactly. So when I'm reading something like, you know, رأينا المسلمين. Okay. What does that mean? رأينا المسلمين. We saw the Muslims, right? So here, what do you think Muslimina is? Marfu, mansub, or majroor, and why? Ra'ina is what? We saw, right? It's a verb. So what is it? What does the verb we saw need? Object. So something. So we saw. We saw what? The Muslims. Okay. So the word Muslims is what is here as an object. So when is something an object? Like what case does it become? Mansub. Okay. So here, al-Muslimina is the object. So you're going to say it's in the case of mansub.
So any object should be mansub.
Mansub, yeah. When it's an object, the object is always mansub. Okay, so basically the rule is, we're going to talk about this, or I guess we are talking about it in fi'l, that the subject is always marfu', and the object is always mansub. Okay, so this is the rule for fi'l. You have just know this from now on. Subject marfu', never gonna change. Object mansub, never gonna change. Okay. What is gonna change though is how the object makes itself mansub. So if you just saw one Muslim, I'm gonna say ra'ayna, or we saw one Muslim. Ra'ayna al-muslima. We saw the Muslim. Al-muslima. But when I get to muslimuna, I'm talking about a group of them. I can't just say al-muslimuna. Right? That's how it is in marfu, but I have to change it to mansub. Alright. So that was mansub. How else can something become mansub quickly?
When verb comes in front.
Well, we said mansub is when something is an object of a verb, the object is always mansub. That's one. What are other ways? We learned ways before the verbs, how something can change from marfu to mansub. No? I think I heard someone say it. Starts with inna. Right? So the particle inna is a harf. No, it's not harf jar. It's actually harf mansub. It makes stuff mansub. Okay, harf tawqid wa nasbin. It makes something mansub. So you say inna Allah ha. You always say inna Allah ha. You never say inna Allah hu or he. Okay. So inna makes something mansub. Also inna has different. Has sisters, right? Inna wa akhawatu inna. What are the sisters of inna? Some sisters. No, not kana. Lakinna. Sorry? Anna. Okay. What does anna mean? That. And what's lakinna mean? But. Okay. Inna means indeed. There's also la'alla, which means maybe. Right? Ka'anna, which means as if. And li'anna means so or because. Yeah. Okay, so all of those are sisters of inna. So the ism inna, basically, the ism inna is mansub. Okay, and then the other one that we learned recently was kana, right? The kana, but it's the khabar kana. Khabar kana. Okay. So kana means what? He was, right? He was. So kana is a verb, or it conjugates like a verb, but basically you have like kana Muhammadun, let's say, or Hamidun, whatever. Muhammadun maridan. Muhammad was sick. Okay. So here you have ism kana Muhammadun and khabar kana maridan. So maridan is going to be mansoob. Okay. Maridan, which is opposite of inna, right? We said inna allaha, like ghafurun. Ghafurun. Okay? So here the ism inna is mansoob, here the khabar inna is mansoob. So they're basically switched. Alright, that was mansoob. So what about majroor now? How does something become majroor? Brother Anwar, you said it before. Mudaf mudaf ilayhi, right?
Yeah.
Can you give us an example? Rasulullahi, right? That's the first one that we did. So which part of the mudaf mudaf ilayhi is majroor? Rasul. Is this too much? Are we burning out the wick already? Okay. So this is my mudaf, right? And this is mudaf ilayhi. So the mudaf ilayhi, the possessor is the one that becomes majroor, right? Just like kitabullahi, right? Darsu imamin or darsul imami, babul masjidi, things like that. So the mudaf ilayhi is what becomes majroor. Okay, that was one way. What's another way? Brother Najm Sashrin?
Give us some hint. Indefinite.
Indefinite? No.
Indefinite ash-shayaratu.
No. How does something end up with a kasra?
Harf in front.
Harf? What kind of harf?
Harf, like fi or...
Right. Fi. So fi and like what are they called? Harf jar. They're called harf jar, and they make the ism majroor. So they're called jar or majroor. So if I say in a house, I'm going to say fi baytin. Right. Fi baytin. So the fi is a harf jar. It means in, and the ism that's going to follow it is going to be majroor. What are some other examples of harfs? Fi, which is in. What else? Bi, which is with. Li, which is for or belongs to. Belongs to. Okay. Is that it?
Tahta.
Tahta.
also, right? Indi or inda.
Inda. Yeah. Inda.
All those adverb, right?
Yeah, those are adverbs actually. But what they were, we'll just write them here. Inda means
In the means
with,
yeah.
right? Physically with.
Yeah.
Like if I say عند المدير, or yeah, السيارة عند المدير. The car is
in
with,
that belongs to it.
or belongs to, yeah.
But ma'a,
Ma'a means what?
with.
With, right? So this is more like, this is also with, but it's like a person is with him, right? Al-mudir ma'a al-mudarris. The principal is with the teacher. What else? How do you say, you have in, with, for, with, what are some examples? There's more. We probably should read, refresh our. All right. So let's do a little bit of verbs, and then we'll talk about lesson 10. Or we'll try to start it, inshallah. All right. So verbs. We did the past tense first, right? So, how many letters are usually in a verb?
read,
Read book, the book and newspaper
Uh-huh.
and the magazine.
And the magazine. So you read three things. There's three objects in this sentence. What? Books, newspapers, and magazines. So the only one which is sound feminine is majallat. So you have to put a kasra on it. Brother Nazmul, read the next one.
it doesn't matter which order we put, right? In the
Right, it
middle
doesn't
or
matter.
in the
You can
letter.
drop the first two and you can still have the first one. Yes.
Innal ikhwata.
Oh, hold on. Let me read this part. Remember that the accusative and the genitive endings are the same in the sound and feminine plural form. So basically, what they're saying is that when it's sound feminine form, just like here, muslimuna, muslimina, muslimina, both are the same. Muslimati, muslimati is going to be the same mansub and majroor. Okay, so read the example.
Innal ikhwata wal akhwati fil bayti. Indeed, the brothers and sisters are at home.
Okay.
Al ikhwatal wal akhwati.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. So this is when it's akhawati is mansub. Okay. So this is when they say, remember the accusative and genitive endings, the mansub and majroor are the same as well. So brother Anwar, read the next one.
Remember that the nisab.
No, the one, the Arabic sentence. Inna talibati.
Oh, in the talibat fi lahafil
Hafilat.
lab hafiyati.
Hafilati. What does that mean?
Hafilati. Indeed, the female students are in the
Buses.
buses, yes.
So here, you have talibat, which are female students, and they are in the hafilat, which are buses.
Bus.
So these are both sound feminine plural, okay? But fi, because it's hafilat is after the fi, it's majroor, right? Because it's a
Yeah.
harf jar followed by an ism majroor.
Mhm.
Talibat is what?
Student.
Students, but what is it? Like, is it marfu, mansub, majroor?
That's Mansub.
Mansub.
Mansub, why?
Feminine.
No.
Oh,
Why is it mansub?
inna.
Because of
Inna.
inna, right? So inna makes it mansub. But you notice how talibati and hafilati are both having kasra at the end,
Yes.
right? So even
That's
though,
because of feminine.
yeah, so if someone asks you like, what is talibat in one of these three, which case is talibat, then you're going to say it's mansub because of inna. And if
Yeah.
someone says, what is hafilat case, you're going to say majroor because of fi.
Fi.
Right?
Object.
But it is also feminine, right? No, it's not feminine.
It is feminine. It is. It's all of these are examples of sound feminine plural.
So it could, even if fee wasn't there, it could still be like this because of feminine.
If let's say they were in the I don't know, in the no, not masajid. Let's say in the classrooms. So the plural for is the singular is fasl, right? And the plural is fusul. So if you want to say in, you put a fi in front of it, you're going to say fusul. Yeah, fusul. Okay, it's time to go, I think. So that was basically, it says here at-talibatu is mansub because of inna, and hafilat is majroor because of fi, but they both have the kasrani. So inshallah Wednesday we're going to go over lesson 9, not lesson 10, and we're going to have Friday off. Jazakallahu khair. Assalamu alaikum.